Yeah, it might be helpful. Let's see what's going on. And boy, am I getting a circle of death all of a sudden. Let's see who shows up. You know what? Let me go look for my extension cord. And earpiece. Oh. Heck. Oh, who knows? This box will reach over here. Should. Oh, no, not the box. The magnifying lens. Oh. Duh. Cable sitting on the enter key. Yeah. Since my wife is, let's switch over. Yeah, it's a little bright. But then again, why is it bad here if I don't have it? There's a 1959 doing in here. And again, I do I kicked the box a couple months ago in a fit of rage. And I had to go and pick everything up. I think they all get dumped into one. I don't know if that's going to do me any good here. That just makes it. We do it like that. That's not as bright on the picture. Okay. Yeah, that ain't bad. You don't really comprehend how many pennies are in one of them bags until you start actually sorting them out. Good morning. 14, 2:14. Yeah, it definitely is. It's early morning for you. So what gets you up at this hour of the morning? Go ahead, Dallas. Must be. Uh, All I can really do is look at it. As far as me giving professional opinion on them, I I'm not a professional. I'm not even close. I just like collecting stuff. What's up? Well, yeah, it's I'm live, but I don't know if you really want to call it a live stream. It's just kind of like just a chit chat session. That's all. Let's see here. Where's my cursor at? Hello, cursor. Oh, there it is. Yeah, oh yeah, true. Oh yeah, this is basically like an anything goes chat room, unless you want to be obscene or uh, verbally attack somebody else. That's a no. What it don't matter to me. Get rid of these handful of pennies here. Yeah, the old man needs a lighted magnifying glass so I can actually see what's going on. I don't have one of them fancy dancy electronic microscopes, so make do the best I can with what I got. Basically it's a bag of pennies out of a coin sorting machine, and just now starting to go through them and putting them into years, and then I'll go back through each tube and see what I have per year. You have a couple nice pennies. I've always heard the argument between cents and pennies. I like instigating when I go into streams where they say, "Oh, they're cents." I'll tell that to the U.S. Mint, because even they call them pennies. Look on their website. They get all upset with me. Most valuable as far as costly, or most valuable to me? Because that makes a difference. See, now physically, to me, probably the most valuable that I got is I have a Carson City Morgan. That's probably, I'd say, probably the most valuable one that I have. But most valuable personally to me, I have a 5 ruble coin that my grandmother brought with her. Oh, where they at? I'm holding it the right way. Yeah, I should be. Let me flip this thing up a little bit. You mean those things? The biggest thing that I do not understand about the elimination of the penny, because they're talking about it. They've been talking about it for years here in the United States. So you mean to tell me that the people that are selling goods in the United States have to make everything that it works out to being on a 5-cent progression, when the government puts a chargeable tax on our items for 9/10 of 1 cent? Do you realize what happened? They think that the economy is bad with what's going on with this virus. Can you imagine if they would have it to be that everybody selling everything in the United States would have to change everything to Reaccommodate a different tax bracket. Well, Canada's no different. Think about it. If you're going to go and buy anything that's $4.99, I mean, yeah, the value between Canadian dollar and US dollar, think about it, is irrelevant for this conversation. If their item costs $4.99, but now you no longer are, penny is no longer an actual denomination, how can you charge $4.99? You have to either charge $4.95 or $5. So now you have to change how everything is calculated when you purchase something in every single store that sells anything. It's ludicrous. It's stupid. But then again, that's the government's. Now, I'd say the majority of the people in the United States, you would see an attitude come out real quick. You show up a store to buy a bag of Doritos for $2.49, and they tell me that I have to pay more than what the value is worth. They're going to start seeing stuff thrown at them. Now, people in the United States would say, F you. They would not tolerate the government telling them that we have to give them money when they already take our money in the first place. I mean, you look at the one of the major arguments that goes on in the United States, how you hear a lot of people complaining about California, about all the crazy laws they enact. Now, what you have to bear in mind, they're not complaining about the people that live in California. They're just complaining about California. A lot of my friends living, well, let's see here, my wife's aunt's cousin. So I forget how she relates to me, but my wife's cousin lives out in California. My wife doesn't hate California, rather hates my cousin. My wife hates California. And I know a lot of people that live out there that don't like California. What's up, Gunner? We'll give you one more. Yep. Hold on. That's me not being vulgar on TV. I've been eating beef jerky. So we'll just leave it at that. I do know in comparison to a lot of other countries, it's like the other day we had uh, I don't know if it was a gentleman or a lady. I'm bad at doing names. There was an individual from, I do believe, New Zealand. I know it wasn't Australia, but they were from New Zealand, and they were we were discussing about my voluntary furlough from my company, where uh, down there it's against the law. Well, I live in the United States, and the United States uh, cannot make a general law in regards to how a state runs its individual employment criteria. And in Texas, it's not illegal for them to ask for voluntary furlough for a specified amount of time. So can't really compare one country to another because they have different criteria. From what I've been told about healthcare in Canada, it's socialized healthcare. Take a number. But again, that's what I've heard. I don't live in Canada, so I really can't give an expert opinion on it. Six different buffalo nickels. Uh, your best bet is actually take them to a coin shop and get them assayed. Which we all know that's kind of hard to do right now, but that's your best bet because that will get you something in writing. But I mean, that's like comparing the state laws between California, New York, and Texas. You can't because uh, each state is its own state. I know the healthcare laws vary depending on each state, even in the United States. So I know the access to medication in Canada is a whole lot easier. You don't have all the bells and hoops that you have to jump through to get your medication. But as far as the actual um, medical procedures and all, I've heard horror stories. I heard praise, all in the same paragraph. I like that one. That's a good one. Well, here's one thing you got to watch out about doing. Using in one sentence the government and free. You can't use that in the same sentence because the government is paid by all the citizens in the United States that pay tax. So it's not free. And the government doesn't provide the services. The people in the United States provide the services. The government just steal it from us. My opinion. See what I like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing that type of healthcare. I believe that it would be a good thing in theory for everybody to help everybody accomplish everything. But the negative side to that whole thing is there's nothing for people to strive for or achieve in their life. So there's no incentive for them to do good. They just become robots that function till it's time to go home or when it's time to stop working for that day. If you take a good example where I work, yeah, I'm furloughed right now. Technically, it means I'm fired, but it's a temporary position that they have to give to receive the government loans right now with what's going on in the United States. So I'm on a 3-week rotation. And I have to watch how I use my words in this, but what the cost $477, a $477 doll? Is this doll made out of pewter? Or maybe layered gold? But back to what I was saying, it would be a good thing if everybody would help everything. But then there are those people that would use the system to their advantage and just do the bare minimum or actually stand there because they know they're going to get the same as the person beside them. So it doesn't matter whether they do anything or not. The people that I work with, quite honestly, I'm the head mechanic for the facility, not for my shift. So I tell them, I say, okay, I'm the top dog. I'm the highest paid person. And when you have an issue, okay, stupid thing. There we go. If you have an issue, come to me and we'll work out a solution. And I've had guys that, oh, hey, I wish I had your job. And I tell them, I said, my job's available. You just need to work to get it. Start working, and you might just get it. If you can do better than I can, my job is always on the line. And I tell my bosses, I told them before, so I'm not afraid. I said, if somebody can do better than me, I'll definitely give up my position. And that is incentive. Think about it. But if you have somebody that comes in and just does an 8-hour shift and then goes home and they know they're going to get paid the same as me, are they going to do the same amount of work as me? No, they will not. That's the problem. Okay, you definitely got my curiosity going here. What you collect reborn dolls? Okay, I'm assuming, and I hate using that word because the way it's spelled. A reborn doll is a doll that basically nobody wanted, and it was brought back to life. It was a new dress or new clothing. It might have been missing arms. Things got repaired and replaced as appropriately, and then it got a new life. It was reborn. Am I sort of correct? No. Okay, you got me. I almost pulled my ear plug out here. But my idea is kind of a neat one. I always like the thoughts of an entrepreneurship. You always have to think of something that would be useful. Well, she's going to go get the definition. This ought to be good. I like to see this one because this has my curiosity here. If it ever focuses. Come on. There we go. It's a very good tasting beer. I like it. I've had several other beers from Texas and with the military. I've been to many different countries. Well, not many. I've been to other countries, and I don't consider Canada another country. We're part of Canada, and Canada's part of us. Yes, there's a border. There's the Queen is the sovereign's in charge at the head of Canada. You can have a whole many different things, but how many of the borders are you prevented from crossing, other than with what's going on with the virus right now? Normally, you just walk across the border or drive across the border. I consider Canada part of us, and we're part of Canada. That's just it's a symbiotic relationship. Now I can understand why the cost of them is so much. I wouldn't insult yourselves that much. I mean, if you look at the fact of I graduated from my school right around in the middle, I got a graduating mark and I got through schooling, and that was it. So I don't know if saying that you talk like us Americans is actually I think that's actually an insult to yourself. Me, I usually try to go live about one in the morning till 5:30 at the latest. 5:30, I have to be off. My wife said that's the rule. What's up, Mike Pallet? My wife said that's it. She wants me off the computer at 5:30. Well, I'm older than you by 1 year. but an actual doll that is made. Oh, here we go with the burps. Made to resemble a real human. Conversation is what makes the world go round. If you cannot have a conversation. Now, see, here's the catch. Intelligent conversation does not mean you have to have a master's degree in English or language. Intelligent conversation means that you have to be able to talk and express your opinion as well as listen to other people give their opinion. That's an intelligent conversation. What's up, Nate? Alfred. There's Andy. Oh, I see the mod squad's in here. Andy, it's been very quiet, so you can. I mean, don't let your guard down, but honestly, no, and I've never heard of it. I thought that was funny the other night. I just sat there and looked. As soon as I saw the name, I clicked on you and Nate, and I just waited for them to start talking. It's like I'll just wait till Andy says something, and you did. I said I already did that, and then boom, 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 boom. He went right down the line. Like I was just waiting to see. I was just waiting to see how long it would take for her to say something. If I had the time. Well, I mean, actually, right now I have the time, but my time is allocated to the woman that is sleeping right now. I have yard work and housework and honeydew work and honeydew list and dogs to take care of and dogs to let in and out and all. She has a list that she doesn't even show me. I remember that name. What's up, Emilio? Let me switch over to this other camera. Let's see, which way is it? It's that way? I have to move the mount on that one. I need the camera to be more like over here just a little bit more. Take care, JT. Sleep well. There we go. Yeah, you do end up. It's not really stream hopping. It's more like following the family. That's the way I look at it. And actually, what's really funny about it is depending on how the night's going. If it's like right now, there's a slump because of the way the half dollars are collected and recirculated back into the system and all. They don't have a lot of movement around in the United States right now. So a lot of the people, unfortunately, are getting the half dollars, which they turned in. They're getting those half dollars back. So the actual coin roll hunting isn't the greatest right now. But what's neat about in some of these streams, if when the devils that are out there in our world get antsy, they show up in a chat room and they start causing all kinds of problems. And it's kind of fun watching the moderators running around trying to tap everybody on the shoulder, because they just start coming out of the woodwork, basically like the plague. But yeah, some of the comments are rather colorful. What I mean, other than some obscene words, which I am not going to repeat, but didn't they ask something about are all coin roll hunters autistic? Is that the one? Is that what they said last night, Andy? I think they talked about coin roll hunters being autistic. I mean, they said some other colorful metaphors, but that was one that stuck out. Oh yeah, it's actually it's quite fun to watch. Yeah, that was this morning. Nate and Andy were both in here, and actually, it was this morning. Or was it yesterday morning? No, I think that was this morning, and they came in, and you could tell just by the names they choose what was going to happen before they started. And as soon as I saw the names, already I clicked Nate and Andy, put them as mods, and they started up, and Andy says, "Well, if you make me a mod, I'll take care of this." It's like, well, what are you waiting for? I already did. It was quite funny. They didn't last long. Well, you have drama queens everywhere. You're not going to get away from it. Yeah, I heard about that. I never saw it. I had jumped over to EP's stream, and when I came back, all of a sudden everybody's talking about this fake Rob in the stream. Now, I was in RFT stream the one night when another Rob Finds Treasure showed up, but I forget exactly how he started his. It wasn't RFT. It's Rob Finds something. Rob Finds Trevor. Rob Finds Treasure. And actually, Rob started chuckling. Robert started chuckling at it. He thought it was funny. Good night. Good morning to you too as well. Sleep well. Be safe. Oh, that's I never understood why they do that, because it doesn't accomplish anything. Because you look at our community. At times we'll bicker about each other. We'll bicker at each other. That's quite honestly, if you think of a family, that's the way a family is. They bicker and they nitpick about each other. They might whine somebody might whine to you, Andy, about something that Shane did on his show, or somebody might complain to to Big Mill about something that Nate did on his Nate Hunts. It just goes around. We all whine about each other at some point in time. But we're also at the same point where if you stupidly criticize one of us, it's like all the fire ants come out of the woodwork. The whole community will attack you. And somebody walking into a coin hunting live stream, and they want to start talking bad about whoever's running it or those people that are involved in it. You ain't gonna get any of us to quit, so you're not accomplishing anything. They're not going to accomplish anything. So I don't understand why they got to come in there. Actually, I think it kind of, like, other than obscenity speech, you will have children in our streams. Now, like this one, this is a late night stream. I'd say probably the odds are that you won't see any children. But because I know Nate and Andy, there's a chance, depending on how late the stream would be, one of their children might be there while they're watching this. So you never know. But that's why the majority of our conversations we self-censor. But as far as those trolls actually attacking the stream to get people to leave, that ain't gonna happen. They ain't gonna make us split up. So I don't see what they're trying to accomplish. That's like a couple of days ago. You weren't in here. There was some guy came in here, and he started off asking me what kind of brew I was drinking, and he got comfortable saying he's from LA and everything else like that. Then he started talking about socialism and our government and the way things are run, and then I'm trying to, and then he's arguing with me about the difference between socialism and communism. And I'm like, dude, I said, you're coming into my stream and you're trying to tell me how to think. I got 12 years in the military. I believe everybody has the right to voice their own opinion, provided your opinion does not infringe upon my rights. Then you no longer have rights. No, it's, well, even no matter what. I know for a fact that you and Nate have different points of view on the way the government should be run, but that's your choice, not my choice. And it's not my choice to say you're right or wrong. It's your choice. On the very first day of the very first job that I ever worked in my life, legal job, mind you, my dad gave me a bit of advice. He says, at the end of your week, there's 3 things you'd never discuss. Paycheck, because everybody wants what everybody else gets. Politics, because everybody has their opinion on the way the government should be run. And religion. There's as many religions as there are grains of sand in the ocean. And nobody is going to have the exact same opinion of religion that you do. So stay away from those 3 and you'll have a good life. And if there's people I know I'm talking to that have like mind of the way I think religion should be, I'll discuss it with them. But I won't go up to some total stranger and just discuss God with them. It just doesn't work. Correct. The problem is some people don't understand that. And those are the ones that usually get into the fights and the arguments and get stabbed and or go to jail or many different outcomes to it. But see, the thing is, just like you're married to Nate, I'm married to Diane. She has the right to bitch at me about what she feels is wrong. She puts up with my shit. Guess what? She's earned the right to bitch at me. Oh shit, that ain't nothing. I know a cattle rancher down here. Well, man, I never really looked at them. I try to stay away from stuff like that. Are they actually Trump U.S. currency coins or are they Trump rounds? Because to me, rounds, I really could care less. Well, yes, but there's also there's a I don't know if caveat it goes along with the universal truth. A wife will nag under certain circumstances. My wife will nag. She will nag on me. And as I look back on those times that she nagged on me, excuse me, on those times that she nagged on me, she was justified when I looked at it later because she reminded me that I promised her it would get done. Well, if I didn't do what I said I was going to accomplish, I just gave her the right to nag on me. So, now, half dollar counter stamp with Trump. I don't agree with stamping anything on U.S. currency. To me, that's destruction of the United States currency. I don't care whether people say it is or isn't against the law. I have 12 years in the military. People say that burning the flag is not against the law. Don't do it in front of me. You won't like what I do. But that's just my opinion on that. That's like those Kennedy half dollars that get stamped with JFK. I don't think it's to me it's not right. And I'm not saying that I'm closed minded. I mean, let me spin it to the right spot. See if it'll focus. It's not going to focus. Oh, that's possible. Let's go back over this one. This one will focus. Let me tilt it the right way. Oh, man, I can't do things backwards here. I'm having problems. So as far as U.S. currency, that's walking liberty. That's my ring. That's my ring right there. So, I mean, yeah, if it's at a point where it's only worth the silver that it contains, I don't see anything. See, there's certain things that I don't like. and it's under certain conditions. If it is a standard circulation coin that serves no useful purpose other than being worth 50 cents. I mean, I could give you a very good example right here. That's $7 worth of Kennedy half dollars. They will only ever be worth $7, no matter what you do with them. So to me, it's but I mean, for them to go and make a political argument by stamping onto a U.S. currency, Trump. I see enough of the political arguments every day. I don't hear it right now because I'm off of work for 3 weeks. But I used to hear it every single night. Orange man bad. I used to hear that every damn night. So then I'd have to ask them, okay, so you want it to go back to the way it was 4 years ago. You know, you didn't get a pay raise till after Trump got in because the company didn't have any money to give you that pay raise. There's no guarantee unless you work a union job, you're going to get a pay raise. So I said, so you want to go back to the old way? Give back every bit of money that you got. That health insurance that costs you less, give that back too. So then they shut up real quick. Did everybody benefit? Probably not. Not everybody benefited. But then again, this isn't socialism in the world. The only way people benefit is for nobody to benefit. And that's where socialism comes into play. All your social media, well, I get the biggest laugh out of when I go into these grow streams or organic room channels, which if you pay somebody to advertise your channel at the top of the screen, that's not organic growing. Seeing somebody come into my chat tonight, and if you click on their name because you never saw that name before, and you say, hey, I like your content, and blah, 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 and do all that stuff, that's organic. Putting your name at the top because you paid $20 is not organic. I'm getting to that. They all say, well, share this out. And I said, share it out on what? Oh, well, on your Instagram and your Facebook and Twitter. I said, I don't have any. You don't have any of that stuff? I said, actually, tell you the truth, I have Facebook and Instagram. There are 20, and I know this because I know who's on there. There are 21 people that are listed on my Facebook, and there are 23 people that are listed on my Instagram. They're all related to me. Do you think I'm going to go and give somebody else the access to my family? Not happening. I don't see any reason to. My cell phone, what you're talking about right there, the only thing that's on my cell phone is YouTube. No Messenger, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter. I do have my fireworks group that's on there. I had a look there. I have GroupMe, which is a private group, and the only person that's allowed to hand it out is the head of that group, and that's just for us that actually shoot professional fireworks, so we can stay in contact with each other if somebody needs help on something. That's the only thing outside of YouTube that I have on my cell phone. I have no need for it. Oh, what? Oh, I need. You need to have Facebook so you can get the stupid memes from people that don't have anything better to do in their lives. It's like, well, my relatives can just send me a text message with the same shit. So why should I have Facebook there too? And I still say I think our society would be a lot better. And even though we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now, if it would be a whole lot better if we would get rid of all this electronic shit. We'd definitely have a severe population explosion. That I know would be one of the outcomes of all this electronics disappearing. So we're having a little we're still a little bit stressed. Well, I forget how many different first and second and third and fourth and fifth. I have no clue how far my cousins go. It's like the everything went up exponentially by threes. We started out with me, Anna, Barbara, Susan, Diane. We started out with 6 sisters, my mom and her 5 and my 5 aunts, and every one of those had 3 kids, and those 3 kids had 3 kids. So it kind of like snowball effect. And then the immediate relatives of the spouses of those kids would also show up at the family reunion. So we went the 1 year, the family reunion had about 45, 50 people at it. And then through my cousin Scott, my grandmother expressed to everyone there that bring all your immediate family with you next time. They were asking for donations for all the food because that's how much. I mean, there was a lot of people. Yeah, it's. I don't. To me, I don't have any reason to have that many. My youngest son's wife, I think she's approaching like 5,000 people on her Facebook account. And she thinks that's a bragging rights. I'm like, for what? And I told her, I said, how many people do you know on there? 30, 40, 50? Do you even know 100 of them? Oh no, that's because we have common interests. Common interests of inviting strangers into your family. Whatever. Just keep me out of it. I said, don't even think of giving an invite to my Facebook page. I said, I won't accept it. Well, I'll say that the problem with a potluck style meal is all my mom's side of the family well, it's not the Soviet Union anymore, but come from the country, the Ukraine. And what I grew up with eating, a lot of people probably wouldn't eat because it's just not the lifestyle and the culture that they grew up with. So some of the stuff, if you find out what it is, your stomach would start grumbling. But if you grew up with it, it doesn't bother you. But if you don't know what it is, you wouldn't know. There was this. Oh yeah, most definitely. There's a place for that. That's socializing with the friends in those areas, and they're provided. But Facebook, man, that's not a place for that. That's social interaction was created by peer pressure in our society. They had this when I was growing up. It looked like chocolate pudding, and actually, it was very sweet tasting. But what it actually is blood pudding. And they would mix it with I don't know what kind of cooking ingredients and everything would gel up, and then you'd freeze it, and you would it would look just like chocolate pudding. And actually, it tastes good. I grew up with it, but some people, when you explain to them what it is, you just don't stand in front of them if they ate some, because it's gonna come up. Well, a lot of things on Facebook, I don't even give them my phone number. I don't use as like there's some things that say, do you want to use Facebook to log into such and such a program? I'm like, no. I use a specific username and password just for each one of those individual items. The only one that actually is. Oh, yeah. I know all about them names. That's like the biggest one that I had, which is the easiest to explain, is my Aunt Diane. Now, the English translation of her Ukrainian first name is Tanya. Okay? Now, her actual name is Tatiana Antonevich. So it's Tatiana Antoniowicz, and you'll spell it correctly. Oh, yeah, they are extremely sneaky on that shit. But the Romanian, the Russian, the Ukraine, oh, they have some awesome meals. But the problem, what you have to do is you have to try the meals before they explain to you what it is. If they explain it to you, you won't try it. Well, a lot of them you won't try. But some of those delicacies are phenomenal. Well, look at my last name, Dreher. That's about as German as you can get. That's my dad's side of the family. Now this is my newest project. Let me spin it around so when I flip the camera down, you'll see it. Which one is it? That one? Okay, I gotta switch cameras. A long time ago, well, not really that long ago, I was the second person to buy a bag of pennies from E Pluribus. And I kind of like separated them out by decades into different plastic containers and everything. But I really didn't have any way to properly sort anything out. So I finally got to the gumption of going and ordering a bunch of these penny tubes. People could argue with me saying they're cent tubes, and I could show them the caps of half of them. Half the caps say cents. The other half of the caps say pennies. And if they really want to argue with me, go look on the United States Mint website. They interchange the words on their own websites, and they're the ones that make the damn things. So I don't care what somebody says is the correct pronunciation. I bought the damn thing. Anyway, now I bought me 100 of these damn tubes. And it works out great. So I'm going to sit there. I'm going to go through all my. Oh, I've argued with him on his, and I've argued with when Kittle was in there on Michael Fine's live stream a couple times. Every time he comes in, I'd say, "Hey, anybody got some pennies for sale?" But now I can actually go and sort them all out. And then once I have it all sorted out, I do have some extras because I already have a bunch more of the 2000s and the 1995s. I know I'm going to have a couple more stacks that are going to have extras. But then I can go and go through each year and spread out just one year and look at the fronts and the backs so I can pick out cents that I want to put into the books, or if I'm just going to go throw them back into the Coinstar. No, it gives me. Trying to think of where the hell I got these at. Hold on. Let's see here. Which web? Oh, there's my cursor. Okay, let me get the cursor up here on Gmail. Coins. I got them from the coin supply store. I like how they always, you go to click on something, all of a sudden their advertisement pops up on the middle of the screen, so you end up clicking on something else. So I learned just sit here and wait till it's all done. This one here, I actually ordered 100 tubes, and it came in this box. Now, I ordered 25 $half, and it came in a plastic baggie. I don't know what it would take for me to get it into a box, but I know the penny ones, 100 come in this cardboard box, at least the ones that I got. Hopefully, they keep doing it that way. But this box, the way this is, I just went and cut the top off. And this originally, as you can see, that slot is actually this. So they come in 25 square. Well, what I ended up doing was I took them apart and went like this. And now I can actually have my header and my column and my row headers. And works out great. And then as I go, I didn't get the ones out for these yet. I'm going to actually mark this as 0, 0, and this one is 95. I'll actually pull these two tubes out, put them in a pile, and put an empty in here and keep going. That way I'm not piling up a bin with a bunch of extra coins. I'm just filling tubes until they get full. But I think it's going to work out pretty good. Actually, I have both. So I know what you're talking about. Up here. Oh, no, they're over there. I think. Are these the manuals? Ah. If I go and see, I got all kinds of containers that everything gets stored in. It makes it so much easier. So I don't know if it'll actually show up. If I had dirty hands and I'd rub it, it probably would show up. But the cap's on here. No, it doesn't show up. You can faintly see it. This one says penny, and this one says cent. See if I can get, where's my camera at? There it is. No, it doesn't want to cooperate. Oh, there you go. You can see cents on the one. But these are actually oh yeah, Asa doesn't know what to do with his life yet. That's his problem. Actually, his coins are his life. But anyway, that's beside the point. These right here are the ones from the coin supply store. These are the ones I believe are from Whitman. I like these better. Get that out of the way. When these line up, they actually lock into place. They also lock this way as well, so they're not just going to come off. But when you turn them, they lock into place. Versus these, when you put them on, they just spin. Now they lock better this way. They snap on, but they rotate around. So it depends on which one you want. I do know the tops are not interchangeable. Lately, take care, Andy. Sleep well. I was wondering how long it would take you. Take care, Emilio. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the polycarbonate ones. I got these one because of the fact that they don't roll, and they actually have some flexibility. If I smack them on anything, they're not going to break. The polycarbonate ones will crack. That's the reason why I got these. Not only that, they stack up nicer. Well, I hope to see you again sometime. If you want to come over and just talk about whatever you want to talk about. Well, Alfred, go get yourself some sleep. You got to bear in mind, this is my normal evening. I usually don't go to bed for another 2.5 to 3 hours yet. Yeah, probably Whitman. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You use whatever you have available. To me, anything is better than nothing. Everybody goes, "Oh, that's a cop out." It's like, well, try and do it with nothing. See how far you get. Anything is better than nothing. But that's why I put the link in there. If you just go to the Coin Supply Store and you look down their column, you'll find it. It's under coin tubes, and you can select whatever kind you want. Actually, I think Whitman also sells square tubes, but I don't think they have as big of a selection, though. Yeah, I don't have them bookmarked. That's the only reason why I'm not bringing it up on the screen. I have actually what I put links up on the screen. I already have on my desktop for anything I might want to buy. This ain't good. Everybody's talking about getting tired and talking about going to bed. Now I'm sitting there starting to yawn. This is not good, people. I'm gonna have to put that in the not usable word directory for YouTube. Anybody puts the word tired in there, it's automatically blocked. Or falling asleep will be another one that I'll put in there, and it'll block it so nobody can use the words. And you'll hear everybody complaining, "Hey, I keep typing this word and it's not showing up. It's because I blocked the damn thing." Oh, my boss's older daughter, because he's one of the few people I actually know outside of where I work. Uh, for our Independence Day, when we do the fireworks and everything here, he goes to where I shoot the fireworks. He's invited, and he brings his wife and his daughters along. And I can walk up to his oldest daughter, and if I keep a straight face, I could just go yawn, and then she won't be able to stop for like 5 minutes. She'll be walking around yawning in front of everybody. She can't stop. I don't know. Yes, I actually started it up. My wife showed me how to play it, and she says, "You played this before." I'm like, "No, I didn't." She goes, "Go ahead, walk down to the building." And I walked in the building. I'm like, "Yeah, I tried this one before." That game is frustrating, EVG. As soon as I saw that building and I walked in and fell through the floor into the water down in the basement, I remembered the game. I like my Star Wars better. Well, that's just it. In Star Wars, I do know my way around. I'll have to play it for a little while before I actually go online. Take care, Alfred. Sleep well. Nah, I don't think she set me up. I think she did that. She just said if you go in the building, you'll remember where you're at. And as soon as I went in and I fell through the floor because I wasn't looking at the floor for the weak areas. As soon as I fell through the floor into the water, yeah, I knew exactly where I was. I'll have to run around and play it for a little bit before I go and get too involved in it. Because if I get frustrated, I won't play it. See, that's a challenge versus being frustrated. To me, a lot of people say they're the same, but they're not. I like a challenge. So I need to play it for a little bit before I actually go online and give it a go. But now, now I have it. So it would benefit me to actually play it because I paid for the damn thing. Did you ever tell us what happened with the pallet? Or that turned into a very big fiasco with people that didn't care about stealing from somebody else? Well, actually, this weekend, probably Saturday night, Sunday night, I'll get on and just start walking around, see what I can learn, see what I can figure out. I'll give it a try. The last thing I need to get for all that I have here is the green screen sheet to go behind me. where I can go and just set this up. But anyway, it just simplifies everything so much. That's the biggest reason why I want the green screen sheet. That's all. It just simplifies everything. It's less calculations and less fidgeting and less calculating I have to do. That's like that microphone, the blue microphone. When I went from using this little earpiece one, I still use the ear monitor so I can hear. And then using that microphone, there's I mean, talk about total difference between night and day. I mean, that thing, well, you look at it, this is actually from my eyes looking to it. So you figure that's about 2 feet away from me, and I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling. My gain is only turned up just under 1/3 from 0. So that was probably well, of course the cameras are one of the investments, but that Blue Yeti, those 3 items right there are the biggest and best investments for me to do this right here. My monitors don't have to be the best to do this, but because I have those cameras and that microphone, that makes a difference between night and day. And it works out so good that right there is the puff filter, which really I don't get close enough to worry about it, but it also gives me an aiming point where if not, I'm not paying attention, my feedback that I get from my monitor, I can tell that I'm looking down when I should be looking up, looking in front of me. Yes, I did. Who's I got? Well, that one is, and it's just Knox gear. That's the one that came with it. Blue Yeti with the vibration mount on it. They did not have the enclosed arms anymore, but that one works out good. My computer table, that's a butcher block. So I actually drilled a hole in the back that this whole thing mounts into. So it actually extends over the top of my monitors. Let me see if I get this right angle. There we go. It's actually over the top of my monitors. Now my other camera, which I have to move that mount, I'm not happy with that. I'm going to have to move it that way. Actually put the mount over here. And that gives me more flexibility moving it this way. Me moving it here is not the best. Everything I looked at so far, once I mounted it, it'd be better if I could move it this way, because then I'd be able to, if you're looking at the way I look at it, if I turn towards this monitor and I'm watching the text, the camera would be directly in front of me instead of offset to the side. So I need to move that mount the opposite side and put it over here. That way I can adjust it to where I need it. But between that camera, this one, and there's my cursor. That one is this camera. Let me tilt it right. Always funny trying to do this thing backwards. That's this camera. That's the other one that was on your list. So it makes just like the green screen behind, getting the green screen behind me, I'm actually going to have it. Mine's the sheet. Actually, it's a curtain. And above me, I'm going to have an extendable curtain rod where if I'm using it, I just pull the whole curtain rod out and it extends out. And when it's not in use, it stays behind this corner, stays over in here, so it doesn't interfere with the appearance of the room by my wife. She doesn't see it. And if she doesn't see it, makes my life nicer. Well, if I go, now you know where, okay, that camera right there, you know that one's mounted up against the wall. So if I stand against this wall, let's see, do I have a tape measure here? No, my luck, I probably do not. No, I do not. But that's to there. If I go to here, I could touch the wall. So front to back, I only have 6 feet. The light bulb that above me is an actual LED light. And I have the, they call it a 3-fin LED that I can screw into there and have it remote controlled. And I can make this room a lot brighter than what that light up there does. So I can get the illumination on the green screen that I need. The LEDs won't? And what are your studio lights? Halogens? Now you got me curious here. Let me go back to the email. What do I do with it? I have to figure out where I got it at. Anyway, lights behind me. If I lean back, I hit the wall. There is no room behind me. It's 6 feet total. And I have 3.5 feet of it right now at the front of the counter. So I'll just have to do the best I can with what I can accomplish. I'll figure something out. A smaller space? You mean in front of you there's a physical wall? Because I have the wall, I have all three of these are walls. Well, let me get out of this. I'll come back in and I'll send you an email. Well, whoever else is here will be back shortly. There's some information that EVG and I got to relay to each other, and I'll be back.